gross.
Live on Facebook, the Gross Domesticated podcast is now live. There we go. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, usually. I will explain the technical difficulties that were experienced on Monday, and we'll get into all of that. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say I appreciate you choosing the Gross Domesticated podcast as your podcast wherever you may be listening or watching this. If you're watching it, I appreciate it. If it's on YouTube at Baby Mermaid Productions, the page, please subscribe, like the video, comment on whatever you'd like, however you'd like. I welcome all pounding. Hey, Ron, it's good to see you. Ron just joined the IG chat. Oh, yeah, that's right. We go live on Instagram. I went with the very literal Instagram. I sounded it out too much. But Instagram live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as Facebook. That's where you can find the show live. If you're watching on YouTube, you want to catch it live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I go live on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions. If you follow the page, you can either join in. Everybody is welcome to join in. You just ask to join, and I'll hit the button. It's like calling into a show because your video won't be saved. I do erase the video at the end of that. I don't save the episodes there, so you can watch them on YouTube, and your audio will be on there, but not your face. So also Facebook, if you watch it on the Gross Domesticated podcast page, again, please hit like, comment on whatever you'd like. Tell us what you think. You can catch it live and comment along live. I can read the comments here, and that way I know. That way also I know who's watching. I can see kind of who's watching on Instagram. I can see who's joined, but I can't really see on Facebook. So I need more Facebook people to pound off. I know I'm not great at reading, but if I'm able to get both browsers up, I can just look at the screen right here and I can read it at my own pace, in my own accent. I found out by when I was talking with John that if I read in a weird accent, like we kind of both picked up on that if I read in a weird accent, it usually helps to be able to get through it without stuttering or misreading a lot of words. Usually, again, like I said, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today, we started a little bit past 11. I always try to start a little bit past 11 just because, that's actually a thing that I was going to get into later on is any kind of changes coming to the show. And I wanted people to give their input. So, but like I said, you can join the show live on Facebook at the Gross Domesticated Podcast page, as well as Instagram and catching past episodes on YouTube. Anywhere you're watching, like, subscribe, pound off, comment, do whatever. Let me know what you think overall. But if you're on the YouTube page, check out Falls Count Anywhere. That's another show that you can check out. That's a wrestling show with a couple stand-up comic friends of mine, Youngblood and Manny. Those guys talk about wrestling. We play games. We talk. We chat. We have fun. They have top 3 lists every week. They put over and they bury things every week. There's fun. We got segments. We got segment music. We got segment video. You're watching the video, like it, subscribe, blah blah blah. Also, Proper Ebonics. We put out episodes every week from 2 super insightful, funny dudes, Kirk and Alan. Those guys put out great podcasts every week. So check out that. If you're watching the video, you can check that out. They always have suggestions every week, which I always love. I've gotten not only great songs for my playlist, my personal playlist, as well as the GDP Slappy Boppers playlist, which you can find the link of pretty much wherever you're watching or listening. Just look in the description. But I also get like great songs for my playlist, but I also get great suggestions for movies, sports, like exercise, hobbies, like writing exercises. Kirk and Alan are like 2 guys that like if you're an artist of some sort, you can get a lot from them. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not just it's like it's the kind of comedy that I like. I love, and it's something that we did quite a bit with the Buddha Boys podcast. It's comedy, it's philosophy. It's like newer stuff, like news-ish things. They kind of touch on that stuff, but it's also like I think those guys have pretty interesting takes. So check out Proper Bonics. All of these podcasts, by the way, you can check out on audio only platforms. So I know that the first half of the show, first 5-10 minutes is usually just plugs. I don't give a shit. I want people to get to this content because I like what we're doing here. Well, it's me, it's me and the cat, and sometimes Dom. It's but I like what we're doing here. That's what I'm saying. So I want as more people fill in, I'll probably, reiterate this fact a couple times, but I am looking. The reason there wasn't a show on Monday was because I've been trying to do some new things. I wanted like a new kind of look. I wanted to have uh more consistent lighting. It's like little things that maybe aren't as noticeable, but like to me they're noticeable, and I want, if anything, consistency. So I feel like uh as far as like I want there to be changes in the sense that not less GDP, not anything like that, but like what can I do to max, like what can I do to get the most out of what I do every other day pretty much. This was it's a thing where it's not like it doesn't feel like a burden. It's not a thing that I like uh it's just a thing. What is it? God damn, I can't think of the word that I dread. It's not something that I'm like, oh boy, here we go, gotta do GDP now. Like this is it's legitimately fun, even with like without pandemic implications or quarantine implications or anything like that. Shout out to Casey in the chat. What's going on? Kevin's here as well. How's it going, Kevin? Um, I want it to be like sometimes, we have the GD peeps that are able to join pretty much on a daily basis, and I love you guys. Like it's awesome, but like I want it to be like I want this to be more of like a conversation, not just a monologue. And that's the thing, is like that's why the pounding is incredible. Like you guys shooting, saying like, hey, I don't like pancakes. Well, what the fuck, what, blah blah blah, and then you join in and we talk about it. It can be anything. I want it to be anything, everything. I don't necessarily need to captain the boat, but I want it to be a I want to have as much interaction as possible with as many people as possible. Like I said, like it's not just the word of the day or like the quotes or like uh trying to like making more progress with like the instrument album or anything like that. It's the fact that like the the thing that I like to do is to surprise people. So like even if it's a thing where like oh, like I think my buddy might like this, or we talk about this every, like literally the debates we've had on the show. If anything, like if anything, it's been like, what's your favorite snack cake? It's all kind of like small talk shit. But like there's a lot of I it's weird what I feel like. I love uncovering what I'm passionate about and not even realizing it. And I feel like this element, or this iteration, I think that's the right word. See, like that's what I'm saying, is like I think that's the right word. But this current iteration of the GDP has been so like I have learned it's actually working. So like I want to continue it, and I want to get like, so if you think anybody that would like this show, check it out. Like see, send them a link, share the post, saying like, hey, the show's going live or anything like that, because I like that's the thing of like I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. Casey's stories, by the way, if anybody didn't catch Friday's show, I know it wasn't here Monday and it's been a little bit, almost a full week now, but check out Friday's show. That's what I'm saying. Is like that was a fun fucking show. And I want to thank Casey again. We've been talking a little bit on Instagram chat back and forth about the leftovers. She's been in quarantine. Again, you'll find out more about why from Friday's show. You can get the audio only version. Also, I've just a quick, I forgot to even say this. I think, I don't know if I did or not, but there is a new audio only feed, a new subscription. So whatever platform you're listening, re just search for the show again. It's the same description, it's everything else, but it just says with Pat George. Click on that one, subscribe to that one, review, rate, because I had to nix the old feed, got a brand new feed, but the shows will remain all the time. Don't have to download them, don't have to do anything. Shows every other day, basically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, will be live within a couple hours of the show being over live. So if you just subscribe to that new, it's on Spotify, it's on Google. The only place it's not up yet completely is iTunes. So if I think the old feed's still there, but um, just whatever one you are, pretty much all the platforms, wherever you can find Gross Domesticated Podcasts, you should be able to get the audio only. Or if you want the link, just click on the link for. I think the Spotify link is in the description. So that just a quick update on that one. But if you know anybody that would like the show or anything like that, check out fucking Friday show. That is GDP like one hundo. That show. Dom's here. Casey was pounding off about some ghosts. It's fucking awesome. Casey, oh, see, Casey's pounding off here. Thanks, buddy. You are a treat. I'm very happy for our friendship. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Casey. And ditto. Uh, I'll I'll be sure to spread the word and share to other peeps. I appreciate that, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to sound like I'm going, like, guys, tell people about the show. But like, this is fun. Like, if you think somebody has like a a fun, like, if we're gonna be talking about ghost stories or something like that, if you think somebody has fun ghost stories, if you, oh, my buddy, uh, uh, or you have a fucking ghost story, pardon my French, send me a message. Pound off. Email me at baby mermaids production, baby mermaid productions at gmail.com. If you want to be on the show, we can set up a Zoom link. It's super easy. You could do it right from your phone. You saw Casey, like, you don't have to have like a set or anything. But like, that's the shit that I'm fucking into. It's weird. Like, I like discussing and anybody that's interested in that stuff, like, that's the thing. We go from gross to, I don't mind talking about new shit either. Like, if there's if there's some kind of moral debate, like the potato head thing was pretty cut and dry. I don't really care, it's okay. But let me share this real quick. Share now and share to my story. There we go. Sorry about that. I was like mid click. I was just like hovering over that, and I was just like, just click it, you fucking dum dum. There we go. But no, like, but also I wanted to like think about like the times. You know what I mean? Maybe 11 a.m. to 1 is good for me, but it's not necessarily good for everybody else. So like, if there's a better time, like if you're like, man, I'd love, if you're listening to the show after the fact, if you're somebody who is watching the show after the fact or anything like that, then let me know if you would prefer a different time for me to stream, because I want like feedback in that sense. And I feel like I don't really make a call for that often. So I don't so I don't really like, pounding off doesn't make sense to anybody that doesn't watch or listen to GDP live. So, or Hockey Talk Man. Shout out to Youngblood for officially inventing that phrase. That is Youngblood's. I was gonna say iteration, but that's not right. I just figured out, I think, the correct way to use that word, and but no, Youngblood invented that. So, invention. Yeah, there you go. There's a word. But I like, in the sense that like, oh, like, dude, if you went from like 1 to 3, or something like that, I'm like more fluid than you think. I can my A lot of my hobbies, a lot of the things that are like very scheduled or very time restrictive are very early in the morning usually. Or early in the morning, basically. So if there's like a day that's better, I make scale back on the days. Maybe less days is better. I don't know. Maybe if you're like, hey, I like the show, but 3 days, I don't always get to listen to all the episodes. That's obviously not everybody takes their content from YouTube or a lot of videos. Nobody's going to sit there for 2 hours and watch a video on Facebook. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I personally, that's one of my streaming services. That's to me one of the best unpaid streaming services is YouTube. There's a fuck ton of awesome free content. Like I'm fucking telling the internet about YouTube. What the fuck? But like, no, guys, seriously, the internet has some great stuff. But YouTube in particular, like most things that you like, I sent Casey some links to the ghost videos I was talking about, the Nuke's Top Five and BuzzFeed. Both of those shows, like they're I don't know, man. Like it's just another option that's like totally fucking free, and I wanted to contribute in that sense. So if there's YouTube is a whole other fucking monster. I'm not nobody has to. There's YouTube's at its own schedule basically with me, but I have the ability to stream from YouTube. Would people rather me stream to YouTube than Facebook or both at the same time? Obviously, all platforms would be better. Twitch is always an option. I do have a Twitch account. I don't fucking use it for anything. Actually, I hooked up my Super Nintendo. I have my I have my super. That's one set change that I did make. I took the chessboard out and I replaced it with a Super Nintendo down here. So I'll play a Super Nintendo on Twitch on my TV, and I'll talk to you guys. No real schedule there, I guess. But like I have, I have. What's the reason of having all the platforms? I guess the thing is like, if I don't know what you guys would like prefer, if most of you guys rather watch on Twitch, Instagram is the only consistent one that I feel like is every week. So like that's the thing is that's where a lot of the pounding happens. That's where a lot of the live because it's in your pocket. You just take it out and you watch it. You set your phone down. But the same thing with a podcast. Podcast is how this thing started. This was 5 years ago, roughly. Yeah, I think like 5 years ago. Um, GDP was just a fucking. It's the same idea. It's the same conversation, but it was usually with two people. Then booking guests and stuff. I have the thing that is the asking people to be on or anything like that, like reaching out to guests is so awkward for me, and it's a thing that obviously ultimately I do have to get over. But it's hard. Like and Ron is pounding off right now. Ron is somebody who co-hosts a podcast with Damian Robinson. Shout out R.I.P. Damian from comedy apparently from last night. The DNR podcast, and like it's weird to like be like, who do you want to be? But everybody does it. It's just a thing that it's a stupid thing in my head. So this feels more live. If you want to join live, come on in and join live. If you want to just pound off in the comments, go for that too. But I like, and I like I said, positive, negative, anything. But like I want to find out also what's best for you. Like it's not just this. I like again, not just a monologue. This was always supposed to be a conversation. It just used to be on a week to week basis, doing that banking episodes or whatever. I love the live feel though. This has helped with the absence of stand up comedy, but now stand up comedy is coming back for me. I shout out again to Ron Kane. I'm going to get to your comments. I apologize, but for running the Rec Room mic in Lancaster every Tuesday. That's another mic that's like, I mean, it's no Soul Joel's apparently. But there's it's a really fun room. So like that kind of thing, it's not a lot different, but it's not a lot of a different element than that, but it was always supposed to be with other people, kind of thing. So Ron's pounding off. He says, calm down, old man. He said, these kids today with their fancy YouTube. Yeah, I know. I know I'm pounding off real hard, real early in the show. But I want it to be uh Ron Kane is a wonderful man who is oh all right, let's go just Chloe. I forgot Stanley's and Kit in quarantine. What now? Are you upset that he's gone? I don't understand what's going on here. But the live cat element we have every every time. You don't have to if there's a thing where like Pat, I really like I'd really rather have you do Twitch like more, or that'd be awesome if I could do that, because that's where I get most of my content, or whatever it is. Like it can be anything. Less days, different times. I feel like uh I want it, like I said, even the lighting. Like lighting is a motherfucker. I see why people go to school for this shit, for like film and and like art, like sets and stuff like that are is so weird that it's, you don't think about. I feel like it looks okay today, and I don't know. It might just be just a mixture of maybe natural light and fucking just enough lamps and other, ring lights and bullshit. But it's weird. It's weird, and it's a learning experience the whole time. But if I don't have the feedback kind of thing, like, then you're not really, I don't get what it's like. It's like, guys, it's like jujitsu. Guys, guys, it's like jujitsu. You can learn technique, sure, but unless you actually put it into practice with a partner who is resisting, a willing partner, Ron and everybody else, Ian, who's probably maybe watching after the fact, not to implicate you. I know, keep your name out of my mouth. The only podcast with cats without the crazy. Yeah, I like that. That's a good tagline. That's what it is. I mean, she's fucking crazy. And I swear to God, it's like hit or miss now. We did not solve the piss issue, but we have like been able to taper it. It doesn't always happen, and I don't know what the fucking formula is yet. There is, I know, guys, there's no manual. Well, there is cats. There's a cat Bible, which is a book that I still am very interested in buying. But again, me and books. Oh yeah, I gotta make an appointment. Thank you for the reminder, vet's office. Gotta make an appointment for young Lord Stanley to get his last vaccinations. Yes, he's even getting vaccinated. And then we got to get those kitten McNuggets snipped off, because maybe that's the final element. Perfect timing, VCA. Shout out to VCA. Great, great vet office. Uh, I feel like the bedside manner of most vets is like what I would really prefer all like doctors to be like, or not even doctors. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, you're not baby talk, stuff like that, but that very open and honest empathy, like the thing of like, oh, did you hurt your paw? Like that kind of thing of like that. You can feel that, but not necessarily be that. You can still go like, oh, I actually give a shit about you. Like, I just wish everybody that did their job loved their job. It's not always the case. But I love doing this. And I love the fact that our vets seem to really love our kitty cats. And yeah, that's you. I'm talking about you, baby. You want to come up here? Say hello? That's Chloe. I put Stanley away just in case. Hey, babe, what's going on? Wife George is here. She's pounding off in the chat. All right, now I gave Stanley a heavy pet sesh, not literally, like a straight up long pet sesh. Gave him a good old petting. Got some chin, gave him ear scratchies, got his head real good. He was purring like crazy, loving it. And then I got him all fired up to let him play. He goes and go play here, and then Daddy's gonna go stream. Daddy's gonna go upstairs and stream. You go ahead, play with your toys down here, boy. And then usually the young kitty cat, Clubpoke, is sleeping over there in that corner. By the way, I was trying to set up a new set in that corner, in Chloe's corner. So that was a big risk, fucking her seat up, because and no piss, I don't think, that day. I can't remember for sure or not, but I don't think that was a piss inducing day, or maybe it was an early piss day. I don't know. All the piss days are going together now. But but she usually hangs out in that corner when I was coming up to start the stream, she was going like, "Oh, I'm gonna go head downstairs, just see what's going on," and I had just gotten them all fired up. And like, God damn it, I don't need to be sitting here streaming and just hear like, because it may not, and then it's not even picking up on mic. I'm not even getting content from it of my cats killing each other. By the way, shout out to Lord Stanley. Chloe's got a big old red mark on her nose here, and I think he fucking got her ass. I think maybe that's why there was no piss yesterday. Maybe he was like, maybe she started doing it. He's like, you know what, motherfucker? Dad doesn't like it. Mom seems to be pretty indifferent about it. But yeah, by the way, she's actively fat bellying all over the table right now. So that's why the Instagram feed is is shaky. I apologize. There's lots of bullshit jobs out there. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Kevin Brosh is pounding off realistically. It is, but there's a lot of bullshit jobs, but as long as you understand what the bullshit is and what at least on your way to doing the non-bullshit ones, there's a ton of bullshit jobs. Some people like some bullshit jobs. You know how like you're like, oh, I could never work with kids. Fucking hate kids. I fucking, if I had to talk to, like, some people have that, like, that kind of feeling of like, that would, like me, I think. If I had to work with little kids, like, if that was my job, I would be like, this is a nightmare. So, but some people would be like, that's like that. I like Dom. Dom's a pedophile. She loves children. That's the literal term. She doesn't, it's not a problem. She's a big fan. If for like as much MMA as I follow, she follows babies. I like MMA. She likes baby. Casey's pounding off. She says, "Have you considered the idea of propping?" Yeah, but it's a big old mattress. Not in that way, guys. It's check out past episodes. She loves children. Like in a nice way. Have you considered propping the mattress up? Yeah, it's not a problem. But I feel like okay, so Casey's saying that we should prop the mattress up. I know that's a bummer, but at least there's no surface. I fear, well, first of all, it's not just a bummer. It's like it's a mattress. Like, it's fucking heavy. I don't know if we can pick the mattress up every day. Actually, I remember Dom saying one time when she had to try to get Chloe into a cat carrier for a vet visit, she had to take our current mattress, which was actually way even heavier than the one that we have now. She had to take that one off and prop it in front of the door to keep her from running all over the house and her having to chase her. So she propped the mattress up against the door to block it so she could get her in the goddamn cat carrier and get her out of the house. I could lift it by myself. Yeah. Well, maybe not. Like Dom doesn't think that she could lift it by herself. If you, yeah, see, it's just so much that I like. Look, I understand that. I don't feel like that's a solution necessarily, and I appreciate the suggestion, Casey, because that's an issue where where I just don't want to live that life. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to like pull my mat. Like, we already don't like having to pull all of our sheets off the bed, put them in a closet somewhere. Then like the current method that we're using is I've taken the blanket off of. She has a little kitty rest area that we've created for her on top of a gigantic shoe. I say shoe tree, but it's like shoe wall. It's like this. It's like a like squared off thing. It's like goes up to like my shoulder, roughly, maybe a little bit below, like my titty. It's about titty height, and it holds all of Dom's shoes. Chloe loves Dom's shoes. She loves Mom's stinky feet, and so I put a blanket up there, one of her favorite blankets, on top of the shoe wall, and that's her official like safe haven. And Stanley has not even attempted necessarily to get up there. So like I don't understand why that's not like her all the time place. She loves it. First of all, that's her all the time place all the time. But then when Stanley comes, that's not her all the time place, even though he has no interest in it. But we take that blanket off and then we put it literally, I lay it right over the spots. Now, by the way, she's hit Dom's side now too. So I'm sure Dom's going to start being like, ooh, well, maybe they like me now. Let's see. Dom saying, my wife is pounding up. She says, I don't think I could lift the mattress by myself. Manny's also saying, you are the humans. You shouldn't have to adjust your life for inferior beings. Exactly. See, Manny gets it. That's exactly right, Manny. Thank you very much for pounding off. Shout out to Manny. Just posted a great picture of him on the Instagram. Go like it. At Baby Mermaid Productions. Dude's holding a big ass walking stick. Tried to take a portrait picture. Didn't the it's really dark in the room. But hey, there was no natural light. Let's just say that. I had it on natural light. Should have changed the setting. It's my bad, but it's still a great picture of Manny. And also follow Manny. You don't want to be the prisoner in your own home. Right. That's absolutely right, Ron. I don't want to live that kind of fucking life. I don't mind taking the sheets. I really don't. It's fine. It's kind of like it's like the reverse of making the bed. It's like making instead of making the bed at the beginning of the day, you unmake the bed completely in the beginning of the day, and then you make the bed right before bed. It's really frustrating because well, it's at least I think it's really more frustrating for Dom because she's like, I have to make the bed. We have to make whatever. But I I don't know. It is an inconvenience. I'm not trying to diminish like it's very annoying, but it's not like I don't like think of that. I also think like, oh, I want to go to bed in a little bit. We should go make the bed because we don't want to have it all the sheets and the cover. Like we keep the cover on if as long as we can. But again, this is the one risk we haven't taken. Basically, calling her bluff. I think she's doing this because she considers I think the cover like a sheet, like another sheet. So I'm wondering, does she have what's up, Avery? How's it going, bro? I'm wondering if she's still like that's why she's doing it because every single time we've taken the cover off, no pee. That's the only time. Now it has usually been after an event. What's up, John? How's it going? But it's usually after an event. But it is an issue that I feel if we could, I don't know, is it worth the risk of getting straight cat piss straight on the mattress? Right now, we've been able to avoid any cat piss. We do have a coffee stain, which was funny because we had to take the cover off. Uh, we had to take the cover off to wash it because of the piss. So when Dom and I were enjoying coffee in bed one morning, she had her cup sitting on the. I don't know why she sat her coffee. I don't know if she thought like the Tempur-Pedic commercials. We didn't get a Tempur-Pedic, by the way. I don't know if she thought we did or not, but she put it on like her like sat it down on the mattress. So when I went to sit down, and I was being really careful because I had my coffee, and I also was like, oh, I wonder why she would put that there, and it baboosh spilled on the mattress. So we do have an existing humongous brown stain on there from coffee, but no piss. Thank God. And I don't mind my coffee. I don't mind my mattress necessarily smelling like coffee. Yo, GDP has a legit become a top cat piss podcast in the world. Hell yeah. Are we ranked now? Dom's also saying, I have to get back to work. Have a great stream. I love you all. I love you too, wife. Thank you for spilling coffee on our bed. It smells wonderful. But the reason we have the cover is to keep the stains and shit like that off. So the new method is waiting. But right now, also kitten quarantine for Stanley seems to be working at the right time. So basically, when Chloe is not actively sleeping somewhere, this is okay. So the much like I said, I don't want my life to be ruled by a cat, and I have to take the fucking mattress and prop it against the wall every morning. which is way more inconvenience. No offense to Casey, great suggestion. It would probably work, but it's also something that, again, I don't want to live that life. But I'm already living a life where I'm like, okay, so it looks like Chloe wants to come out and like hang out out in the common area. So we're going to put Stanley away at her, at her behest. Then when she deems it fit, when I notice that she's not actively sleeping out in the common area, she's been tucked away again back in on her cat tree or wall, then I can release young Lord Stanley. She doesn't want to see him. She doesn't want to see him. When she sees him, she goes, put him away. That's still not a great life. I'm counting on the McNuggets being cut off, being the solution, hopefully, because he still hasn't been neutered. But are there like mini cat beds that use to wait? Hold on, that they that use, or is that only a dog thing? No, actually, ironically, there was a. It's funny you mention it, Avery. There are cat beds, but usually when you do buy cat beds or anything like that, they don't. We bought a little cat bed, like condo kind of thing. Like it's like a little kind of like picture like an igloo made out of like of pet bed material. So like there's they can go in there, lay down, it's covered. And we did buy that. The only one to use it really like on a pretty regular basis was Dobby. Dobby is now deceased. Shout out to Dobby Robertson. But there like he would lay on top of it and crush it to where it was completely flat, not laying on the soft bed that's inside, curling up and staying away. Even when it was cold, he would lay on top of it. That's what they do. You buy a pet, you buy a cat in particularly, a new thing, like a cat tree or a new sleeping, like bed or something like that. You take it out of the box. Cat likes the box more. Almost all the time. But Chloe actually does have. We bought this green chair at the Salvation Army a while back, and we have a pet bed that was gifted to us from friends of ours that got a new dog, a new puppy, and had a little puppy bed that they got, but he didn't really sleep in it, or they ended up getting a new bed for him, and he barely even laid in that one. So he's like, "Do you want it for your cats?" And I was like, "You can see." Put it on the chair, and like Chloe, like that turned into like Chloe. She was like Archie Bunker then, like that's her chair. But now, Lord Stanley, that's where he was in kitten quarantine. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that she was introduced to him as like, oh yeah, that's where he stays. He stays in there, and I do the rest. Like for a month because of all of his bullshit. Like he had to get the worms out. You got to fucking make sure he doesn't have weird kitty cat AIDS or something. Our fat cat loves the boppy pillow that was supposed to be for the baby human. Uh, God damn it. Is it the same thing that as a cat bed he has never laid it? Right. Well, okay, so yeah, whatever cats aren't supposed to like is basically what they like more. That's the formula of cat. So we love Stanley. We think he's great. He's checking all the boxes of like we lost out on our cuddly boy. Dobby was the cuddly boy. He was the he was the nice cat. We didn't realize that Dobby was our favorite cat until he died. We had no idea. I thought Chloe was a front runner because I like her personality. I don't like her personality on its own. Her personality on its own is very needy. Or her personality with a new kitty cat is not necessarily favorable. Not loving it. Not loving it. She is uh vehemently against Stanley, and but like in the weirdest way. I don't understand it. And I would think that eventually like I would think eventually she would get the point. I don't know. Like I think that's the thing. I don't think cats get the point, or they just feel like you don't get the point. But like Manny clearly stated, uh, this is a human household. Humans rule this household. I control your food. You know what I mean? Like even in the animal kingdom, you should still have to listen to me, even under animal rules. You know? So I like she's attacking my manhood and my own home. She's she's attacking our bed with her piss. Don't love it. Really hate it. And honestly, if anybody's gonna piss in my bed, it's gonna be me. It hasn't been me. Luckily, it's not Manny. We proved that from the film. Sorry, John. I know you were really counting on it being Manny, but it's not. So god damn it. How do we stop it? We're gonna figure it out. As of right now, isolation, separation, and maybe a little bit of neuteration. And that's the last that's honestly that's it. That's the last bit of that's the last uh I can't think of the word, like the last effort is gonna be. I mean, it was gonna happen either way. We're gonna, can't have a I don't want him fucking spraying anywhere. Have you tried pissing on the top of her piss? Yeah. Again, like John, I every time you say it, I go yes, and I want to do it, but then Dom's like, "Don't do it." She's like, she's like, "Don't piss on our furniture because it's our furniture." But so far, putting her blanket on, and also that's also a like a fail safe for if we know that if she's pissed or not, is if she, like, if we go into the room and the mattress or the blanket that we've laid on top and double over, which also keeps, sometimes it keeps the piss off of even the cover, which is wonderful if you get a thick enough blanket there. But if it's all askew, then we know it's been Chloe. She's been pissed, and she's pissed on our stuff. So hopefully that ends soon. Hold on, let me get my fucking book here. Get my fucking book on. So yeah, yeah, sorry. No, I'm just looking at my notes. God damn it. Can't read and talk. You know that. Can't drink without a drink drop. I'm gonna try this again. Yeah, let me do this one. This
And what about my cataracts?
What about my cataracts? Never time it right. I should just play a song and just drink for a whole song. I'll get a beer and I'll just shotgun it. That's what I'll do. That's how I'll get my hydration. I know you're into it, John. Big drinker, John Montag. John and I, John just shared to me. Is that how you say it? Shared with me the list of guests that are for the upcoming season of Hacks, which, by the way, I think we should be planning soon. That's another thing why I wanted to reformat GDP a little bit. And again, any suggestions of format issue, like if you want uh do more of this, I like more of this. That's another thing too. I want any insight on that too. If you like, you like it in particularly, some people like John commented, I don't know if it was passive aggressive or aggressive even in the least, but is this a cat piss podcast? No, that's just what's happening in our life right now. And if I don't have anything else to talk about, if you don't let me know what you want me to talk about, it's going to be cat piss. So if you don't like the fact that this is a cat piss podcast, you can only be the difference. I won't know because that's what I like to talk about. Actually, that just gave up beer. Really? For real? Like forever and ever? Well, per today's Photoshop, again, shout out to John Montag and his wonderful art director skills. He is the art dick and as pro of GDP Live. He creates all the Photoshops. So we can do seltzers. Let's pound some Celsius. But like, if you would prefer, oh, I like this more, I like that, the ghost story thing. I personally, I'm fucking down for ghost stories all day. But if you guys are like, hey, GDP Live, why don't you just talk about cats more? You talk about food more. Let's talk about let's debate more things. Let's talk about hacks. But the list of upcoming seasons of hacks, because I feel like he was saying like, oh yeah, this will be season 2, but I'm like, man, this might be season 2 and 3. Why don't we just fucking bank this shit? Right? Let's go. Every weekend, let's golf. I know you have a child and everything, but you're going to have to forget about that kid, John. This is gonna take total dedication from you. No, I don't. I do I do it like once or twice a year. I give up beer, meaning I just double my bourbon and seltzer intake. Exactly. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so it's just a little slight adjustment. He's being a little bit healthier. I like the Ghost Story Fridays. Yeah, Ghost Story Fridays would be awesome. So honestly, if anybody has any kind of Hacks Comedy Golf, yes, thank you so much, man. Manny is pounding off with a big shout out to Hacks Comedy Golf on Instagram. Follow Hacks Comedy Golf on Instagram or watch it on YouTube. Full episodes on either platform. I'm telling you, John, we're gonna get this whole fucking we're gonna get season 2, season 3, maybe even season 4, because the guests, you know how like you're watching a show and you're like, oh yeah, guess like the season 1's cool. I like season 1. That's really good. Season 2, you're like, wow, okay, yeah, this is what season 3. Those guys, oh, falls count counting. What? Why is it counting? Wherever. Wow, John, that's like he was nice. He gave you a real plug. You need to be nice. Falls count anywhere, okay? Not falls counting wherever. That's not how it's said. God damn it, John. But Ghost Stories Friday, Ghost Story Fridays. If anybody has a paranormal experience, or stories or experiences, or would like some, I was trying to talk to Manny about it a little bit last night, but I think there was a little bit mixed up when we're all hanging out after the mic talking. But there's a trip that I would like to go on around my birthday, around summertime. I would love to go back to Gettysburg, uh, and to do, because we did a slight investigation when I was doing the Buddha Boys, and we went to the hotel. We asked for the most haunted room. We asked for again shout out to the Real Chills podcast with Alyssa and Meg. Check that podcast. I did an episode. I talk about the trip a little bit. But if you want to listen to, actually, that Buddha Boys episode is still up. I can't remember what the episode is. I think it was around November of 2018 or night. Yeah, 2018, November of 2018. I don't know, but that is an like a cool thing to go. I would just like for, if you don't have an experience, like, try seek one out. Like, that's the coolest thing. I think it's cool to see. That's why I like the BuzzFeed Unsolved show so much, is because there is one of the people that is doing the investigation. There's two people mainly doing the investigation. I think sometimes they have a third cameraman. Cameraman. I don't know why I said it like that. Like, was the last name? There's cameraman. There's John Cameraman, and there's Bill Soundman. But they have there's a skeptic and a legit, like, he buys into 100% paranormal, alien, everything. Basically, he's a Sasquatch believer, everything. He's into it. He's open to it for sure, but actually legitimately believes in like demons and ghosts and all that stuff. So that dynamic is so cool. I feel like I should blow my fucking nose. God damn it. But that dynamic is really cool to go. I would like to see if we could get uh as many people that haven't had an experience to, like, truly seek out, like, again, if we could just use the room that Casey talked about. If you didn't listen to the episode, please check out Friday's episode of GDP, because Casey shares a really interesting story of staying in a room in her grandma's house that basically gives you nightmares, which, again, maybe you don't consider that paranormal, but it would still be cool to see if, does it work on dudes. Does a guy sleep in that room and feel like I got hair in my goddamn face? But does a guy sleep in the room and have the same kind of dream? Or does it work every single time? That would be a cool thing to do. And I would like a lot of my friends that haven't had an experience or doesn't necessarily believe in that to go do these investigations or do these things with us. If you want to laugh at us, you can laugh at us too. Or maybe you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Like that's all I need. I need just for Manny to be like, what? Did you just touch me? Like, there's no, like there's no like that, like something like that, where like you feel someone like grip your arm or something like that, and you turn, and you're like, what the fuck? Nobody was there, and nobody's near me. That kind of unexplainable, kind of weird, even something little, not like you getting an EVP or us doing a fucking Ouija board, seeing something that's not there. That would be cool, and I want that for my friends. I want to terrify you. Pat, we have to taste test. Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Thank you very much for reminding me, Manny. That is an absolute. Yeah, did you grab my ass? Yeah, that exactly. Did you grab my ass? It's a physical what is it? That's from Night at the Roxbury, right? Oh my god. Great quote. Pounding off. Manny's pounding off hard in the comments. John says, sorry, no beer lifestyle has really fucked up my brain. Let's see. Casey says, I'm looking forward to your next trip to Gettysburg to make Dom a believer. Yes, Dom. That's another thing. We watch all these ghost videos and all these things. I've not forced her, but I say, do you want to watch it? And she's interested in it in the like in a horror movie fandom style. I feel fandom style. She Casey's also saying, I'm not drinking seltzer anytime soon. I cannot taste. Oh no. Well, yeah, I guess yeah, because the carb it would just be shitty like tonic water, right? Can you still get drunk with Corona? I mean, not Corona. Like I know. Well, can you get drunk with Corona anyway? Night at the Roxbury, right? Nailed it. Operation Get Dom Haunted. Hell yeah. All my friends. I want anybody that even if you're not open for it, like we're still just fucking hanging out, joking around in a fucking field. The weirdest thing that I remember, and I know I've said it before in the show, but that it's so strange in Gettysburg that they do not acknowledge it being haunted whatsoever. But if you are found with like a ghost hunting equipment, like if you're ghost hunting on the actual battlefield, or like not necessarily like they don't necessarily care. I don't think if you're like on the ground, like anywhere in Gettysburg, but if you're actually on the battlefield or anywhere like that area, then because they have like ghost tours and all this other shit away from that area, they show you some of the other sites and stuff. They're pretty cool, but they're not really. There's not like a ghost. The one I did was more like a murder, like not a murder tour, I guess, but like a thing of like this is supposed to be really haunted. This is supposed to be really haunted. But then you just Google most haunted areas in Gettysburg, and just go to like there's a really haunted bridge that's there. All this other stuff. So going to those places is really cool. But if you're found on the battleground uh, with ghosts like doing that, they fine you, I believe, or arrest you, or maybe for relic hunting. It's called relic hunting. But what's the relic? What am I trying to catch? I'm not trying to steal fucking bullet casings, or I don't give a fuck about uh like any kind of I don't care. I honestly could find a full intact saber, battle saber or whatever. Did they have saber? Did they have swords and shit back then? Also, or a whole musket. I would go, hey, there's a musket over here. Come get this. Look at there's a fucking shadow over there. That like I don't fucking care about the history of a dude necessarily. Operation Stoned in a Cemetery. Oh shit. Did you hear that? Yes. That's a good name too. I like that name. John's working on the working titles of the investigation. So if you're a GDP and you want to join in, like we got a small family right now. Like let's fucking go. Come on. By August we'll all have herd immunity, right? Or be vaccinated. Who's vaccinated? Show your hand. Show hands. Anybody? We're not going to get COVID from ghosts. We'll be outside for most of it. Then we'll go to a hotel. See, this is my plan. this is all part of Operation Get Stoned and Hang Out and do ghost hunting in Gettysburg. Oh shit, what was that? Is that a shadow or was that your shadow? Did you touch my ass? You also get a room in the same motel or hotel that we're staying in, and you also share your experiences. Not that we also like we have to have cameras in every room, just experience. Like I want somebody to wake up and just be like, "What the fuck is that?" And like, it's just a fucking guy walking through the wall. Just that's all we got to see. Something. And if you don't, then you don't. Then we just had a fun trip. Like there's some fun restaurants out there. Gettysburg is a nice, fun place to go. Like it's better than New Jersey. No offense, John, but it's better than New Jersey. Gettysburg is better than the whole state of New Jersey. But speaking of New Jersey, another camping trip out in the woods, searching for the Jersey Devil. Let's do that. John, would you be down for that? Hacks version, Hacks GDP live crossover investigation, much like the spelling bees of past holidays that we've done. Why don't we do a crossover ghost investigation? Hacks comedy ghosts. Let's do it. Hacks comedy gross ghosts. Work on the title, John. John, get the title. But that I'm so glad that Manny was pounding off in the comments. We were talking last night at the mic. Part of the discussion, or at least how I think it begun was, or how the whole conversation you're in. All right, let's do it. Fuck yeah. Jersey Devil camping trip. Oh, now that we will, I would advise us to bring some kind of weaponry, like a knife, or if you guys have guns, bring a gun, because there's also just people out there in Gettysburg. Like it's just a bunch of dorks. I don't think there's anybody you should fear in Gettysburg, except for like maybe like if there's somebody that is a fan of the losing side, but I think there's a cool tree that Lincoln talked in front of too. You could, there's cool things there too. But Jersey, I feel like if you're just in the Jersey woods, I've seen The Sopranos, guys. A lot of fucked up shit happens out there. We're just gonna end up finding a body, but it's not gonna be. So we will need a big number for that trip because we're gonna need to outnumber whatever people we find in the woods. Also, possibly the Jersey Devil, the 13th child. But the conversation may have started that way. But Manny and I were talking about quickly after that, or maybe it might have even been before. I was talking about we were talking about sauces. I was sharing my dislike for being photographed every single time my fucking Grubhub or DoorDash guys come to the house. They deliver the food, and they say, "All right, your food's here." They also ring the doorbell, so I get a text message. I hear the doorbell. I also wait a couple, like 5 or 6 seconds at the top of the stairs before I even walk down the stairs to go to the front door. And every fucking time, at least 2 times, the past 2 times I think I've gotten DoorDash, they have clearly taken a picture of me picking up my food. I got it. Look, I got it. I'm here. You don't need to do that. But again, Manny and them have reminded me that most likely they don't get, not that they don't get paid, but they may not get paid, or they may not. I think it's a requirement if you're delivering for DoorDash. There are so many good New Jersey ghost stories. Weird New Jersey has a bunch. Okay, I'm going to check that out. If you have any weird New Jersey stories, that would work on Frightening Fridays as well. So don't forget about that, buddy. But Manny and I were talking about I and Charles. We're all talking about the different sauces, because last time I got food delivered to my house, I got Chick-fil-A, and I had ordered. People may not know that I was not aware of this, but I was made aware of the fact that they offer their sauces in, because I've had many a trouble, and they even limit your sauce, like how many sauces you can choose to have delivered. You can order extra, I think, but actually I think for like a sandwich you can like order 2 sauces, and for if you're getting something to dip, you can get one extra sauce. But they also sell their sauces in bottles. You can get a fucking bottle of sauce now. And I said I was sharing my excitement for that, but unfortunately they had forgotten to deliver it in my most recent delivery. And when I was chatting with Grubhub, I said, "Hey, I didn't get my sauce. I was supposed to get the sauce," and they said, "I'm going to look into it." And that was it. And the end of the conversation. And I have not heard anything. So it's done. I just don't get that sauce. I thought about contacting Chick-fil-A and just saying like, "Hey, I ordered this. I didn't get it. I really have no way to prove it to you, but Grubhub didn't help me. Maybe they'll give me sauce." But Charles shared a fact that he believed that I was, I think, a fool. I was a fool to believe as well. Uh, that honey roasted barbecue sauce. He kept trying to say honey, or he's a garlic barbecue sauce, and I was like, that sounds awesome. And I was like, who has that sauce? He said Chick-fil-A, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. I've never heard of garlic barbecue sauce. That sounds like a fun mixture. You hear of the honey roasted barbecue sauce, and then he was like, "Oh, I think that's what it is, honey roasted barbecue sauce." And I go, "Oh no, honey roasted barbecue sauce and Chick-fil-A sauce are the same thing." He doesn't believe me. They are two of the same sauce in 2 different packages with 2 different names. So I challenged him immediately to a blind sauce taste test because Manny also then sparked the conversation of uh, he loves every single signature sauce from a fast food place. So so Arby's sauce, any whatever of the name. So there is Arby's sauce, there is Chick-fil-A sauce. That's his favorite of those. There's so I can't remember exactly all of the sauces. There is Chick-fil-A. Manny, if you're here, you can pound off with. I can't remember what the rest of them were. Chick-fil-A, he likes Arby's sauce. And we're trying to figure out what each like fast food sauce was, because if you can identify what each sauce is, not maybe not by name, but let's say by restaurant. That's basically, I think that's the definitive. This is absolutely a GDP live event. We are going to do a blind sauce taste test, and whatever sauce you taste, you have to identify what restaurant it comes from. That is the official challenge. So I would argue, let's say, cocktail sauce is the signature sauce of Long John Silver's. Maybe you would think it's tartar, but I think either way, I think you're gonna go, this tartar's that's fucking Long John's. Maybe we don't do Long John's. We didn't really talk about Long John sauce. Long John sauce. Hey, new nickname for John. Long John sauce. We got some pounding off here. Manny is a true sig sauce sip. I don't know what that is. Sawsome sauce for Wendy's. Oh yeah, sawsome sauce. That was the other one. Which, by the way, I was not aware of, but this is something that Manny is a huge fan of. He loves the sawsome sauce, mac sauce, right? So that's just salad dressing, mac sauce. What else was the other one? You have to be blind and no smell for a taste test too. Really? No taste or no smell? Why? Don't you need? Isn't the smell? Aren't the smell receptors like? Isn't that part? It's just a blind. I think the blindness is supposed to do the. Supposed to be like I can't see what sauce you have here. So obviously you can feel the texture on your tongue. And you can still be like, oh, this is. Actually, I wonder if I could do it no taste. I wish. You know what, Casey? Well, actually, at this point, I've been vaccinated. There's no. I was gonna say like Just put a little bit of COVID in a tube, and I could just get COVID, and then that way I'll go like, oh, now I can't taste. I'll just do it on consistency and really flex. But I couldn't do that. I don't think I couldn't just go like, ugh. That would be disgusting with no taste. Casey is just mad that she can't smell or taste anything right now. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, well, yeah. See, Casey. Look, I'm not trying to rub it in your face that we're going to do a taste test. That's not what we're here to do. But unfortunately, it's something that needs to be done because if anything, we need to prove without a shadow of the doubt. The only thing, the tasting the sauces to guess which sauce it is or what restaurant it is. That's a fun little thing we're doing. But Charles and I, particularly head to head, we need to figure out the whole difference between honey roasted barbecue sauce, which is the one he was talking about, and Chick-fil-A sauce. This is important stuff. This is not something we just sleep on, guys. Can't fuck around here. We need to do a double blind sauce taste test so we figure out exact and I say double blind because I think double blind is there's just two people of us and we're both blindfolded. So I'm not here to ableist or to be an ableist. I'm just here to say we will go full daredevil and try to use our heightened taste and smell to determine which sauce belongs to which restaurant. Favorite hot sauce? I'm a Cholula man. Is that how you say it? Cholula? That's how I always say it. Cholula. Casey's also saying, I think GDP taste test will be great. Thank you very much, Casey. Casey's back on board, guys. Hey, jealousy. You know, don't be jealous, Casey. Come on. We'll tell you what it is. That way you know. You've tasted, and you're not really missing. This is fast food sauce, guys. I'm excited to try the Sawsome sauce. Mac sauce is again just Thousand Island dressing. What other sauces are there? I guess you could go. Really, we could go to multiple restaurants and just order whatever an order of nugget of some sort, and then just split the sauces. We could do the sweet and sours. This is sweet and sour, but where does it come from? I feel like I'm going to be embarrassingly good at this. For as bad as I was in the spelling contest, I'm going to be like twice as awesome as this in this. John says, Manny, is that how you say it? Manny's Spanish is wait. Manny Spanish, he should know. Manny Spanish, he should know. Chahula, not Chahula. Wait, what? Cholula? Cholula, Bahama. Come on, baby mama. No? Taco Bell determine the heat packets. Now that is the challenge. That is the absolute challenge. Trying to have because I really can't tell that much of a difference between mild and hot. Like it's basically like I think it's kind of the same sauce, which that would be harder. I think once you get into the darker the packet, the sweeter the juice. I think that's when you realize the difference because none of them are really hot. Like none of them, they have just like a peppery a peppery element. You know, there's no genuine heat in any of that. Cholula or Chahula or Chihuahua, whatever the sauce is named, that actually has some kind of like actual heat to it. Taco Bell sauce is just different flavors of like it's good. I like the flavor. It actually adds flavor to the taco. The Taco Bell round should be a tiebreaker. Okay. I like that. Taco Bell sauces as tiebreaker. That's a good one because that's really challenging. You have to say mild, medium, hot, and you have to say it in the correct order. Nail it. Fucking great idea. New associate producer of the show, Casey Nicholson. Pounding off hard. Great fucking idea. And you can pound off live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Instagram Live at Baby Mermaid Productions. You can ask to join. You can chat along with me about whatever sauces or anything that you'd like. I think this sauce challenge is going to be great. So Charles Baynard will be in the Dalby Warverson Memorial Caddick, as well as Manuel, young Manuel. So we got to figure that out one day. But in the meantime, if anybody has any ghost stories or any paranormal experiences or uh, sightings, I can't even. Like I feel like even like if you grew up in a house that was haunted, somebody shared a story once that they were saying like, oh my stepdad or my dad didn't believe in that or something like that, and like said that he literally saw like plates levitate, like come off the out of the shelf and then float down to the floor, but still was like, nah, bullshit. So like even if you have a story like that, like you heard like, oh, I grew up in a haunted house. I didn't have any personal experiences, but my sister would always wake up and say, there's a man standing in the room or whatever it is. Welcome to GDP, where P is for pronouncing sauce names. I could do that too. Sawsome sauce is not the most pleasant word to say. Sawsome, but it is fun to just think like it's sawsome. This is awesome, man. Hey, man, it's like how a drug guy would explain eating fast food at like 3 o'clock in the morning. This is awesome, man. What is this? What is this sauce? You know what it is? It's awesome. Like that's guarantee how the name. I guarantee that's how it happened. Hi, Patrick. Here's what I've learned about taste tests. Uh oh, mom's pounding off. I don't. I'm assuming she's going to be typing. Taste tests are either way. I think we should. I'm just excited about getting a whole mess of fast food as well. What's up, Ian? Good to see you, buddy. We're doing a in the sense that there's going to be two people double blind sauce taste test, Ian, just to catch up. Uh, Also, if you have any suggestions for a sauce, we right now uh, the debate was sparked by Chick-fil-A sauce versus honey roasted barbecue sauce, which I said is the same sauce. But Charles Baynard uh, said that no, they in fact are not the same sauce. I challenged him to a double blind sauce taste test. And here we are. Now we're springing off to other. Now we have to name the restaurant by the sauce. Being blindfolded, we have to figure out the sauces. So we right as of right now, Chick-fil-A sauce versus honey roasted barbecue sauce. We have Arby's sauce, Sawsome sauce from Wendy's, which I was just going over precisely how they named it. No problem, Ian. Ian, you know what? I know that that was part of the first half of the show, which you missed, which not always happens, but often does because you're working, right? So, what I was suggesting in the first half of the show, and anybody else that's watching now that wasn't able to watch, I apologize. Anybody that's still stuck around or listening or anything like that, but I just wanted to reiterate the fact that if there is any suggestions that you have for the show, if you'd like a different time or day, a different uh the content that you prefer over other content. We talk a lot about cat piss, obviously. We talk a lot about ghosts whenever I get the opportunity. But if there's anything in that sense, that spelling a lot of times illiteracy, but if there is ever a case where you want to suggest, oh, what do you try evenings or 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock would be better for this or that, because that's the thing is, I'm open for it. I wanted to try. The reason I didn't have a show on Monday was because I wanted to try a different stream, a different area. I wanted to set up a different. I wanted to have a different backdrop. I wanted to change things up a bit, and also because of technical issues was not able to, and also so goddamn angry that I didn't want to to do the stream, because it was like, god damn it, this is frustrating. So if there is something that you would like to see, you know, hey, that's what I'm here for. Feedback, pound off, let me know what's good for you. Instagram's the easiest, obviously. That's a good platform. But if you're like, hey, Pat, I'd like to see you stream more on YouTube. I like YouTube more. I have that on my fucking TV or something. Ian's also saying, yep, I'm on my lunch break. Okay, peeping. Hell yeah. But that's the thing. So if there's like a, oh, I like when you talk about episodes that you've done of What About with Andy and Pat and Andy, depending on who you ask, the order of names. But a lot of times, uh, that's another show that I stream on Sunday evenings. We found that if we stream here, we get more interactions. We get this because that's what it is. It's a conversation. It's not necessarily a monologue. No, it's not just me here. I need the peeps. Come on, let's talk about sauce. Let's talk about ghosts or whatever you want. So if you ever want to join in, pound off or anything like that, catch the show as of now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. We got the second half of Mom's response here. Mom says, for a double-blind taste test, or double-blind test, excuse me, the experimenters know nothing about the participants, and participants know nothing about the experimenters or the product. You, in fact, will be conducting a blind taste test. You're welcome. Thanks, Mom. So we're doing a double blind taste test. Manny doesn't know fuck all about me or Charles. Just kidding. How did my set go last night? Pretty good. It was good. It was really only my second time on stage in not the longest time, but in quite a while. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun. But it's something that, like, I forgot the elements of the like, it's one of those things where the long form, the 2 hour element of GDP Live was good to feel the performance aspect in a way, and the crowd work kind of element of, like, that I was missing from comedy. But in a 5 minute set, it's almost like uh it's nothing like this. I don't know why the fuck I was going to compare myself, but it's kind of like being a fighter, Ian. You see, sometimes you train for 5 round fights, and sometimes you train for 3 round fights. If you're training for a 5 round fight, you're in the mindset that you have more time to finish the job. So you're kind of going into it with saying, I got plenty of time to get this guy done, but you got 2 less rounds than you thought. I don't know why I went to a Chicago accent, but hey, there you go. Very loose Chicago accent. But that's essentially, that's the same idea as, like, a 5 minute set was like, get to the funny, Pat. Like, I made fun of a guy that did a set before me, but that's not what I had planned. That's not necessarily, I guess what it is, Ian, is I'm not sure. And this was happening a lot last night. Shout out to Damien again. Damien's having he's a rough go of it right now. He's stepping away a bit from comedy from what he was announcing last night. So it was like, all right, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things of like, hey, man, if you need anything, let me know. Damien Robinson's a wonderful man. He's still doing the DNR podcast with Ron, so that's good. He does have some kind of outlet, but like, it's almost like when you go like, yeah, I have 2 hours to talk about, like, to get to the funny. I have 2 hours to find the funny in the conversations or topics that come about. I was hoping that Ron Barindro would be here live, so I could talk a little bit. We got to watch the Elisa Lamb documentary that he was talking about, that he had suggested, about the Cecil Hotel, the documentary series, and I really wanted to get into it a little bit, because that has obviously a lot more of a paranormal side to it. There was a lot of that, and a lot of people still kind of theorize that, but after watching the documentary, I kind of feel like it's a it's pretty open and shut, but about, like, I think it's just somebody that kind of maybe wasn't taking their meds and then having like a bit of a breakdown, was literally having a breakdown. But again, I'll save that for when Ron's here. But what the hell is that? Oh, fuck, I forgot. I can't believe I can't. How could I forget this? We had an update to the GDP Slappy Boppers playlist, which, as for any of the GD peeps that are aware already, but for anybody that's not new, you already know, guys. So you don't have to. You can turn off the feed. But it's GDP Slappy Boppers is simply a playlist for everyone. It's a playlist that anybody could listen to, and I feel confident, or you would feel confident, saying like you could play this at any social gathering and feel comfortable. uh Again, there's a lot. I would like, this is another reason why I'd like to have more interactions for the show. There's a lot of white people and a lot of classic rock on the list, um but there's also as much diversity as possible that's just been brought to light. The GDP Slappy Boppers is pretty simple. Whatever streaming service you have, their 10 most popular songs. Do you think that you could play those for anyone or at any social event, and they would go like either like it or recognize it enough to be like, oh yeah, yeah, some people like that. But there was an update. Somebody was added that wasn't even on the consideration list. Out of nowhere, just organically in conversation with the High Council, Manny, I believe, brought up. Oh no, Manny and Youngblood and us were. It was, I think it was Youngblood that was discussing his distaste for I think just Rob Thomas and Santana, or that song Smooth by Rob Thomas and Santana. And we got to talking about Santana. And guess what? Santana's a fucking 10, his 10 most popular songs on Spotify, which is where the official GDP Live Slappy Boppers playlist is. That now includes 10 songs by Mr. Carlos Santana. I did not know he had 10 songs that I either loved or knew enough to be like, that's undeniable. Even if I don't like it, that's still great, you know? So Santana added to the list. I also made a couple playlists that I'm going to be going over some people to actually start adding some more, because part of the content, part of the interaction, part of my side of it is to make sure that I continue to say, oh yeah, it, like, yes, Lincoln Park and Limp Bizkit are both on the playlist. But you know what? Maybe your aunt likes Limp Bizkit. Maybe she's like, oh yeah, they play that at the Steelers games. Reminds me of when I go to sporting events. Rage Against the Machine play is one I think has one of the best power play songs in history. Guerrilla Radio is infinitely a slappy bopper for me. But do they have 9 more? Maybe I'll add them to the consideration list. Who knows? Santana guitar riffs are slappy. Absolutely. That is absolutely right, Casey. They slap and they bop. So Santana and Rob Thomas. Rob Thomas slipped his way into the list. He slipped his little butt in there. But so also any other artists that you have for suggestions for the Slappy Boppers playlist, please pound off. Whenever you're listening to this, anywhere you're listening to this, rate, review, any of that stuff. Like the thing, do the thing, share the things, do all that stuff. That way we know which because as of right now, let's see. Yeah, Santana's been added. The Slappy Boppers playlist, like I said, a lot of white people. I would just an update. Currently consists of Foreigner, Journey, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Weird Al Yankovic, Foo Fighters, Weezer, Limp Bizkit, yeah, that's right. Green Day, Billy Joel, undeniable. Queen, The Police, Metallica, I'm sure Nana likes them. Elton John, Linkin Park, Hall & Oates, Michael Jackson, we don't care if he's canceled. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Rod Stewart, The Beatles, ever heard of them? Van Halen, Electric Light Orchestra, ended up turning out to be, I didn't realize that. I think they're one of my favorite bands. ELO is fucking awesome. I had no idea. The best way that I've found to describe ELO is they're my favorite parts of Queen exclusively. They're all harmonies and fucking riffs and just great fucking songs. Check out ELO. 10 of their songs are officially on the Sloppy Pod. Also, Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a personal pick that I was like, I don't know why more people don't mention them as like some of the greatest bands of all time, but Earth, Wind, and Fire is fucking phenomenal. So, also Notorious B.I.G. I forgot I added Notorious B.I.G. That one, maybe. Yeah, see, this is a fluid list. If you feel that an artist has been added, and maybe I just took a swing because you know what? We played 10 of those songs. We fucking all like 10 of those songs. And maybe with again sporting events, the popularity and the infamy of Notorious B.I.G., some of the uh like movies and documentary, like it's older. I think older people are more familiar with that artist and maybe more accepting of it. So maybe that's a deal breaker. Who knows? Again, Metallica could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Bee Gees, come on. Bee Gees are definitely on the Slappy Bopper playlist. Chicago, I didn't realize I liked as many Chicago songs as I did either. That 29, 60, 45 song, fucking, that slaps. That's a good fucking song. That slaps, that bops, and it rips. I'll tell you what. Pink. Yeah, Pink has 10 good songs. Who knew? Blink 182, Pink and Blink, both of them. Muse, obviously. Come on, guys. Nirvana was a surprising one. I thought Nirvana would end up, there would be more. I, I don't want to give them that kind of credit. I was gonna say that they're almost Beatle like in that sense. They're like, holy shit, I didn't realize how many of their Weezer like. I guess that's a better way to describe. It's the same way I discovered Weezer. I didn't realize how many of Weezer's songs I had liked, but Weezer's on the playlist, and I think you'll like them too. Ian saying, Beastie Boy. Oh, okay. I don't know if they're actually. So I have the consideration list here. I have Backstreet Boys. I don't think I have Beastie Boys. Let me double check. Nope. Boys to Men. Got to check them out too. All right. Well, they are on the consideration list. Beastie Boys. Yeah, I feel like really. Let me make sure I spell it right. I will make sure I'm not putting Bestie Boys. Beastie Boys. It's my own list. I know. It's all correct in the actual list. Don't worry. All right. Beastie Boys is added to consideration list. Let me finish the actual sloppy boppers. Guns N' Roses. That's just they're Guns N' Roses. Come on. Everybody likes them. Ben Folds. What about the five? Just Ben Folds or also the five? Ben Folds. That's somebody that everybody like not everybody, let's say everybody that suggested Ben Folds to me, aside from you, John, currently right now, has been like, "Oh, I love Ben Folds," or like Ben Folds is so good. It's always like that. Really, like they love Ben Folds. Fuck the five. Okay, so just Ben Folds. Add it to a consideration list, guys. And I like that we're making sure that we're staying away from all the whites. I would say this list is awfully white. Okay, well, how about Beastie Boys? And also, we're going to go with Ben Folds. Also, Michael Bublé. Let's try that out. Let's get a little bit of fucking edge in there. Guns N' Roses is on the list. Johnny Cash. That's right. Johnny Cash is 10 great fucking songs. AC/DC, great fucking songs. Just fun. And great with headphones. I know I suggest this a lot with a lot of times when I do What About with Pat and Andy, the music podcast that I do with my friend Andy Malafarina every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. on his Twitch channel and YouTube and Twitter and all that other fun stuff. Also on my YouTube channel. Check it out. We talk about, like I always mention, we do an album discussion. So we talk about a full album. And I always like to listen. I always like to make that distinction because we're not talking about the band necessarily. We're talking about the album, and it's a start to finish thing. That's what we like the show to be, is that kind of that particular thing. So that way we never run out. Like we're gonna have John back to talk about Brand New. We're gonna have him to talk about a couple. Actually, I have you on a couple different uh upcoming episodes, so you might end up just being a third fucking mic on the podcast, John, because we love talking to you. John Montag, great guy. But I always like to suggest listen to this if it's particularly well produced. Excuse me, that was hard. Um, I always suggest listen to it in your favorite place to listen to music, or on your your favorite method of listening to music. So I love, and this is something that I haven't gotten to do a ton, obviously, during quarantine. I don't know why, by the way. I guess it's because Dom was still basically working full time, and she had the car a lot of times. But like driving, I love road trips, or it's like, so driving for comedy and stuff was great because you can I just that's where I like to listen. I love listening to music in the car the most, my car in particularly, but most people's stereos, as long as they're okay with me fucking with it a little bit, because like, I'm not trying to be a snob, but I can make your stereo sound a little bit better unless you've actually put the time and effort into it and you have your preference. I always ask people, do you have a preference, or are you somebody that's just like, oh, that's just stock how it came, I don't give a shit? Because a lot of stock speakers and stuff like that can sound good if you just adjust it just a little bit. It sounds perfect. The job site I'm working on right now is a 4-hour drive round trip. Yikes. See, that's another thing. That would, it'd be nice to have you be able to put me right there and just say, like, hey, we could just chat on the way, because that's 2 hours, right? Ah, but I just feel like, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying, actually. Sorry, Ian really got me. Oh yeah, the long drive thing. That's what I like to have, that, like, that or headphones. Suggesting to listen to it on headphones is always a thing, because you, like, if you have your particular set of headphones that you like the most, no, it's a good thing for listening to music and podcasts. Yeah, but I write a lot too. I like to. That's where I would do a lot of, on the way back and forth to mics, or on the way to shows or something. I may be going over my jokes, adding things, or like, oh, let me work out this premise or something like that. It's just good for, it's like a meditative thing for me. So it's the same thing. I do like listening to music and things on those longer trips, but we weren't taking a ton of those. So uh fuck, what was it? God damn it. I keep losing my train of thought. I'm fucking starving, by the way. I got some Zuppa Toscana downstairs. I'm gonna fuck up after this show. The last couple bands, ACDC and Santana was the last one. So Slappy Boppers, listen to it on your next long drive, because that's honestly, that is, if you're ever listening to something in your favorite form or anything like that, that's really what you should listen. Like, podcasts can kind of there a lot of times when I'm editing a podcast, I'll cringe, or I'll think about certain sounds or things I hear, and I'll just be like, ugh. But I realize a lot of times, in most methods of people listening to this, most people don't necessarily listen to it with headphones. They might have it on their stereo or on their phone, just kind of hanging out somewhere. So you're not really in their ear, and they're not hearing everything. But when I'm hearing the monitor or something, like, I'm hearing what it sounds like to me, and I can hear like that or something like that. I don't know if that's something that comes through on the thing, but on the recording or through the broadcast, but that's something that reverberates in my head. So, but with music, I don't want to miss anything. I even like hearing when the drummer sets their sticks down, or hearing like the chair creak when they move, or something like that. I like hearing those kind of details. You don't necessarily need that with podcasts. So a lot of times I'll suggest, so the Slappy Boppers playlist is something that you should be able to play in most, if not all, settings, and to get, whether it be spirited debate on if this should be played, like saying, like, what the fuck, you have this band, Guns N' Roses, they're an atrocity, and somebody go like, come on, like, they're classic. You can have, like, there will be discussion, and it's really ultimately not not politics. It's not about like your medical beliefs or uh perspective on what you feel about a virus or a thing. It's good. It's good to just talk about something else. Music. We could talk about some music for a little bit. You could listen to someone else's podcast, you narcissist, like mine. Ha 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 ha. That's true. You could listen to another podcast. Like as like content? Like I can listen. I'll listen to Ian's podcast and I'll just react. I'll do reaction videos to Ian's podcast. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things, but there's a lot of elements that I started on the show too that I like to bring back. I started doing word of the day and then it got interrupted enough times. I was doing the uh uh words to celebrate Black History Month, trying or at least attempted to do it. And almost every time I would attempt to get into that segment, with no exaggeration, every time I attempted it, I was either interrupted by my co-host, which is at no fault of her own. I don't necessarily fill her in on everything we're going to talk about or the format of the show. She also doesn't like Dom. Dom doesn't even listen to her own podcast a lot of times. Sometimes she does, and I think she will when she's coming on. Sometimes listen to the most recent episodes, so she's kind of caught up. But she hears me talk enough. Please don't do that. No, Ian. I think it's a good idea. I'll listen to your show on my show, and then that'll be that. But you should check out Strong Words with Ian Strong. By the way, if anybody's listening to this, check out that podcast. It's audio only, so if you like listening to stuff, great music too. All original music by Ian. All original content by Ian. So if you like Ian Strong or you like different formats of podcasts he does, Shot Glass Diaries, where he talks about a particular shot glass that he got in the trip, the ballpark or a town that he visited for that particular shot glass. So like how you would collect, Dom collects mugs like that, but not just there's not a lot of it's more of connection to the vacation or the trip that we take. So if we take a trip to uh Vermont, she would try to find a Starbucks near somewhere in Vermont. I'm sure there is at least one. And then she would find a Vermont mug and then collect that mug. That's what she does too. So it's much like that. Interview with DDP coming in on May 10th. Oh yeah, thanks for the plug-in. I forgot about that. He sent me that. He sent me a cool clip of DDP just talking about something. I don't know if you haven't released that. I'm assuming that's going to be, oh man, dude, it's so cool. It's just so cool. Like even though it was over Zoom, you know what I mean? Like or anything like that. Like a lot of people have gotten to do uh interviews or work quote for places that they wouldn't have. Like I was hearing a lot during the most severe of the pandemic when people were everything was on Zoom. And people were doing like virtual mics in like at like the Laugh Factory and shit like that, or fuck, what was it? I can't remember which one it was. There were some like clubs, like pretty from what I remember, like I think the Comedy Store. I can't remember which one was doing it like a like, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm fucking not gonna do my first impression on on that quote again quote stage or for that management. I did not want to be an awkward like Zoom show, but it's a great opportunity that I think Kirk, a friend of mine, Kirk Griffiths, was the first person to let me know. Hold on a second. Getting a message. I apologize, guys. There we go. I think I'm coming back on to FCA when the interview drops. Oh, perfect. Okay. I did my show slacking on posting about it. Okay. Yeah, good. Well, check out Strong Words with Ian Strong. Subscribe to his podcast, rate, review, all that stuff. It is like again, it's audio only, but all of the audio is made by Sir Ian Strong himself. So give that a listen if you'd like. Also, you can give a little listen to a little ditty I came up with, and it's concerning something that we're bringing back today, which is the word of the day. So we're going to try that. Word of the day is something that was meant to educate, to elevate, to help me to say a lot of words that I don't know the meanings of. More often, knowing the meaning this time. That's the important part. So, word of the day today is we're right back on track with Word Genius. Again, my apologies to the African American race for letting you down and not continuing with the word of the day through words to celebrate Black history. But I promise you'll be compensated. Eventually. I'm sorry, but it's so interesting to be interrupted every single time. And look, hey, that is, if anything, unfortunately, a plight that is experienced by a lot of Black people. They're overlooked, and hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Serious, Pat. Just having a little word with you guys. But today's word of the day is back to the things that I can't pronounce, which is unfortunately uh, is I think what maybe people like about it. I think I found that maybe not everybody's laughing with me, but I like to laugh at me because today's word is is a noun, and it is. See you, buddy. See you, Ian. Today's word of the day is an interesting one, and I'm not sure exactly, just from the look of it and how I'm gonna, I think, attempt it. Not necessarily something right off the bat that I think I would use a lot in a sentence, but it's the word is, if you want to try to pronounce it at home, it is Cynosure. All one word. Cynosure. And if I were to attempt to say it, I would say that this word is Cynosure. Cynosure? Cynosure? No, it's Cyno? Cryo, right? If it's CY, it'd be Cynosure. Cynosure. But let's find out. Cynosure. Cynosure. Hold on, let me turn that up a little bit. Cynosure. The lady's back too. Cynosure. So what the fuck is a cynosure? It's a noun. Its origin is French, late 16th century. It is a person or thing that is the center of attention or admiration. What a way to bring back the word of the day. Pat is a cynosure. Pat is a it is cynosure, by the way. Cynosure. 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 Huh. Let's see. Examples of cynosure in a sentence. Let's see. The prince was the cynosure of the coronation. This is absolutely a word that I'm going to bring up. This is a word that I'm going to show off with. This is a word that I'm going to say, oh, he's being such a cynosure in this situation, and I don't like it. I don't appreciate you being here and treating yourself like the cynosure, which you are not. Okay, first of all, you are not the cynosure. The song "Dancing Queen" describes a teenager who is the cynosure of the dance floor, the center of the dance floor. You can dance, you can cynosure. So, cynosure is a person or thing that is the center of admiration. I was very confused because the picture for cynosure that they were like, they always have like a little example. I try not to spoil it too much. Like, I don't want to look at how they have the phonetic spelling or how like it's pronounced or anything like that, or any of the other details necessarily. but it's kind of hard because it just brings it all up automatically. But there's usually a picture at the top of the page at wordgenius.com. Hold on if you can see that. And they have that. Isn't that the bean from Chicago? See that? And I was like, what the fuck is this? How am I going to use the thing that's defined? But it's that's the display. It's a center. It's a place where everybody kind of congregates. Cynosure. Cynosure. God damn it. Cynosure.
Cynosure.
See, I'm going to say it wrong, and people are going to be like, what? Because they're going to know what cynosure is, but they're going to double dick me. They're going to be a dickhead to me because they're going to be like, oh, cynosure. I know what cynosure is. Was that what you're talking about? Cynosure? Also, Mom is saying cynosure means center of attention, also one who directs or guides. Oh, so I am a cynosure because I'm your host, baby. GDP. So a cynosure is today's word of the day, but we got a little bit more time. Let's bring up some past word of the days that I also see. That's the thing. I've been planning the word of the day pretty much every fucking show, but every fucking show, even outside of Black History Month, it literally gets interrupted. No fault of anybody else's. Usually I do try to get it to it a little bit earlier, as suggested by Heather Jean. Shout out to Heather. But this is something that I'm so glad because this is hard. It's hard, and I'm going to try it out here. This word here, the picture again. The picture is fucking clouds. This is from March 5th. Just clouds. This is EMPYREAN. EMPYREAN. That would be empyrene. 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 It's just empty without the T, right? Empy, and then reen. REAN. Empyrene. Let's find out.
Empyrean.
Ooh. I was way off.
Empyrean.
Empyrean. This is a good word. I like this one. This sounds smart as fuck. Adjective, Greek, mid-17th century, excuse me, relating to heaven or the sky. Empyrean.
Empyrean.
Empyrene. Oh man, you gonna go Empyrene? That's like Valhalla for rednecks. Empyrene? Hey man, you gonna go Empyrene? All right, so we got examples of empyrene in a sentence. The astronauts were awed by the empyrene domain outside their window. God damn it, I did it again. I said empyrene. Empyrean domain. All right, so this may not be slipping into the vocab anytime soon. The Empyrean domain. So the astronauts were awed by the Empyrean domain outside their window. While the planetarium couldn't fully replicate the Empyrean wonder of the night sky, it came very close. I like that sentence. Empyrean, not Empyrene. Whoops. We got another one. This one is very interesting, and it looks like it's a specific place in South Carolina. That's what the picture they're showing is a little pin in South Carolina. It's GULLAH. GULLAH. I'm certain that there was a show at some point, not necessarily me growing up, but at some point, maybe growing up, I never watched it personally, but Gullah Gullah Island. So I would have to say just Gullah. I think this is Gullah, like a sea Gullah. Let's find out. Gullah.
Gullah.
Nailed it. That's easy. Gullah is not necessarily something that's fun to say, but I did pronounce it correctly. I'm proud. It's good, right? So a Gullah is a noun. American English unknown. Uh-oh, here we go. It is a member of a black cultural community living on the coast of South Carolina. Wow, it really is South Carolina. it and nearby islands. Okay. So a member of a black cultural community living on the coast of South Carolina and nearby islands. The Creole language of the Gullah have an English base with elements of various West African languages. It has about 125,000 speakers. Holy shit. This is crazy. Examples of Gullah in a sentence. Jess was lucky enough to be able to visit Gullah heritage sites on her visit to the Carolinas. Shit, I'm going to be driving through Carolina soon. I might have to stop by and check out Gullah. I'm interested in studying all Creole languages, but I'm the most interested in Gullah. I don't know if anybody knew this, played a character on Buddha Boys known as Creole Grandpa. So I also would like to visit my cultural heritage of Gullah. I'm also devout voodoo. Everybody knows that. And I think that if we can reach Gullah on the coast, then I think we can learn a lot more about this. I want to screenshot. Oh, God damn it. I hate that when you go to screenshot something and it fucking just closes. Bam. There we go. We're going to go fucking Gullah. I bet I can get some good food in Gullah. Tell you that much, baby. Everybody's all about North Carolina around here. You guys are sleeping on South Carolina. All right, one last one before we're done. This one's going to be interesting. Just a picture of a road with a van on it. This is INELUCTABLE. I'm going to do it a little bit faster. Sorry. INELUCTABLE. Ineluctable? 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 Inelectable? It's not inelectable, right? INELUCTABLE. Inelectable, I think.
Inelectable.
Nailed it. Inelectable.
Inelectable.
Is an adjective. It's of Latin early 17th century origin. It means, inelectable means unable to be resisted. Jesus Christ. That's in the definition. I don't know what to tell you there. Unable to be resisted or avoided. Inescapable. Inelectable. What the fuck is, why do they have is that van in oh, it's a dead end. I didn't realize the road ended. I was like, why do they just have a picture of a, like, is something going to happen to that family? No, it's because there's no end. There's no more road. You can't see it on Instagram. Sorry. I'm just flashing phones at phones now, guys. Let's see examples of inelectable in a sentence. We need to acknowledge the change is inelectable. Inelectable, just not inelectable, right?
Inelectable.
That would, you would think that's like, if Donald Trump gets successfully impeached for the second time, then he will be
inelectable.
That's what I would think, right? I think that's what that means, right? If you're not a naturalized, if you weren't born in this country, you are officially
inelectable
as president as of right now. We acknowledge that the change is inelectable. Another example is the logs were caught in the inelectable flow of the river. Jesus. Unescapable. Unable to be resisted or avoided. Inescapable. Inelectable. All right. I might use that one. Hannibal electable. I want to thank you guys for joining GDP Live. You guys have been great. GD Peeps. Again, message me at Baby Mermaid Productions at gmail.com. If you have any suggestions or ideas for the show, if you have ghost stories you want to share, we're going to do Frightening Fridays for a while. We're going to be sharing spooky stories. So if you have any spooky experiences that you've had or anything like that that you think would be fun to share or anything like that, or you know of anybody, or you want to do it, you just want to talk about this shit, your theories on it. I don't give a shit. Anything you want. Bigfoots, like if you were camping, you think you saw a goddamn cryptid out there. Tell me about it. If you were in Scotland, you saw Nessie. What up? You know, tell me about it. I appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you check out your resubscribe to the audio only feed. Whatever you listen to your podcast on, search it again. Gross Domesticated Podcast, same description. Instead of saying at Baby Mermaid Productions and Wife George, it just says Pat George. Subscribe to that one. Please do that. Subscribe, rate, review, and I love you all.
Gross.